Okay, we are live everywhere. Okay, so welcome everybody to BnB Live. And Vanessa's back.
Yay! Oh, it feels good to be back for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, I was out last week. Unfortunately, I wasn't feeling well at all. It took me out the entire week, but I needed the rest, got the rest, and now I feel better and rejuvenated. So,
Yeah, I felt like something was missing.
like a part of you was gone.
Yeah, it's like, so anyway, welcome. It's the last BnB Live of August.
Yes.
And we're coming up on Labor Day weekend here in the U.S. and going into that long weekend. Some people already, I think, took off tomorrow, and I have to work, but at least I get a 3-day weekend.
That'll be nice.
I'm going to do some things and chill a little bit and rest myself. But oh my gosh, Sunday I broke my own rule, you guys. I broke my own rule by not doing a pop-up in the heat. And I signed up for it thinking, oh, maybe it'll cool down by then. Now this weekend it's going to be cooler, but when I looked at the thing, it said it was going to be 94, and I'm like, well, it's only a few hours. I can do it. I did it, but oh my gosh, I felt so awful. I got overheated.
Okay.
And
so she broke her rule,
yeah, I broke
you guys.
My rule. So I'm reminded as to why I keep that rule, because it's fair. I actually wrote a post about it for Mastery Monday. It's important to keep those agreements that you have with yourself, because you find out when you break those agreements why you made the agreement to begin with.
Right. There you go. There's
a
loving, I would say gentle reminder, but that wasn't a very gentle reminder, obviously.
No, because I came in here, I brought it wasn't very far. It was at the Elks Lodge, which, by the way, I think it's October. It's a Sunday in October. It'll be in the newsletter and it'll be posted on social media. I'll be at the Elks Lodge for their holiday boutique in October.
Okay.
So it'll be inside.
So real quick though, because something just kind of popped up right now. I would love to ask the question to you guys, and then maybe a lot of you will watch this afterwards. So I would love to look at your responses to this question. How many of you are actually signed up to the newsletter? Because you're talking about a newsletter that's getting ready to come out again, and you send those out how often? Once a month?
Well,
right around?
It's supposed to be once a week, but it's been like every other week.
Okay. That's not bad. Two times a month, let's just say, right? I think that's reasonable. And so the question is, are you getting the newsletter? Maybe you're not, and maybe you don't know how to join the newsletter. So how can people get on the mailing list for the newsletter though? Where do they need to go?
Okay, so if you go to basketsofbeadskenya.com, the .com site, you can look into
I'm going to pull it up right here.
Banners.
Yep.
If basketsofbeadskenya.com, and there will be a pop-up, a little yellow pop-up box come up, and you can just put your name and email in there and you'll get the newsletter. And then you'll find out about the events now that we're going into the holiday season. Christmas is 4 months away, people. 4 months.
Yeah.
4 months.
It's going to come before.
And we're already planning. We're going to have some events here, but we're also planning for the pop-ups we're going to be doing. And another agreement I made with myself was not to do last year from September 24th to December 10th. I had 1 or 2 pop-ups every weekend. By the time December 10th, by the time December 10th got here, I was done. I was done before that, but I was done. And some of the pop-ups I did were not very beneficial. So we have signed up got approved for the Irvine Global Village, which last year it's the second Saturday in October in the Great Park in Irvine. That one's we've been approved for. We've also signed up for, and I'm pretty sure that we'll most likely get approved because we've done those the last 3 years, I think, is the Irvine Fine Arts Festival, the Fine Arts event, the first Saturday in November. I think it's November 5th. And then they're also having a holiday boutique December 1st and 2nd. So have signed up and applied for those, waiting to hear back on those. And then we're also confirmed for American Martyrs Church for the guess the 18th and 19th of November. But this will all be in the newsletter. So if you're local and want to find out where we'll be, so you can come visit, and also the events we'll be doing here, it'll be in the newsletter. It'll be on social media too, but a lot of times everybody doesn't always see the posts on social media. So if you want to make sure that you get an invite and get on the events we're going to do, one of the things we're going to be doing is the sipping teas and painting trees event, where we're going to learn how to paint a Kenya tree.
A beautiful tree, by the way. That idea, that concept is going to be really, really nice.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. And we're probably going to have some little casual events here. Maybe we're going to talk about this today. Maybe we'll do something after where you can come and be in the studio audience, or come and hang out, or maybe we'll do something on a Saturday evening when there isn't a pop-up. So we're going to talk about that. So you guys can come hang out in the studio, kick back. We have places to sit. We have a nice couch here, chairs hanging around. You can hang out and just, maybe we'll have some entertainment. We don't know. We're working on that. But that's all going to be in the newsletter. So you want to make sure that you're on the newsletter. So go to basketsandbeadskenya.com.
There you go.
And you will get I'll make sure that you're in the email list, and you'll get the emails. It also will have information about things that we're doing, like what's going on with the ladies in Kipsongo, what's going on at the farm, what's going on with the Educating Children program, what's going on with some of the other ladies we're working with. And we'll be sharing information about that too. And sometimes I do blog posts on how it was made, so you can see how things are actually made. And maybe more extensive blog posts on the farm, because we're getting ready to harvest again pretty soon. I'm not sure exactly when. I think the onions are ready to harvest, and then the potatoes will be next. So we're growing onions and potatoes, but once those get harvested, that means there's going to be more food to grow.
Yeah, definitely. So what are we going to talk about today? I mean, I know what we're going to talk about, but what are we going to talk about
today? Well, I thought that we could share about it. I always talk about, I came back with a few beads. For my first trip to Kenya, I came back with a few beads, a third to a half of a suitcase that I bought from a few women. And on my first trip, for those of you who haven't heard that part of the story, I went on a mission trip to Kenya, which is how I got involved in Baskets and Beads. And we were going around to different places. And one of the last places we went was the Kipsongo slum, where I met the ladies that make the beautiful products. One lady gifted me with a paper bead necklace. And then I had an idea to bring some back, buy some beads, book in a bead, sell them with my book when I was speaking. For those of you who don't know, I'm a speaker. I speak on negotiation. I wrote a book called Think Like a Negotiator. And I thought I could, I'll sell a few. So we arranged for me to meet with a few ladies in a place, and I went, and they laid their things out, and I bought a little from each woman and brought those back to sell. And I came back and pretty much sold out. And I came back the end of February 2018. I spoke at an International Women's Day event March the 8th, 2018. Was talking about negotiation, but also shared the story about Kenya and the ladies there. And I had some products, and they pretty much sold out. So I wanted to share, what does a few beads really mean? What did I actually bring back with me? Because we didn't have all the products we have now. We didn't have aprons and pillows and tunics and skirts and earrings.
It's grown a lot.
And a lot of the necklaces we have, because they've presented new necklaces to me. And we didn't have a lot of the different styles of bracelets that we had. We didn't have headbands. We didn't have you didn't have housewares. Yeah, we didn't have any housewares. no wooden spoons. We didn't have trivets. We didn't have earrings. Baskets. Right, no earrings. None of that. And that's all developed over the last 5 years. But our staple product that every woman makes are the paper beads. So the first thing I brought back were here's the paper bead necklaces, the long paper beads and the medium paper beads. So the long, they're all different colors, different styles. These multicolors, they all look pretty similar. Some of them have different color beads. They put the little seed beads in between. And I brought back a ton of these. Like, every woman had these and these. And I got some of these from every woman there. And they take up a lot of room when you bunch them all together. And I brought these. These are some of the first two. And I'll show you the others that I brought back as well. because they had a few things, but they hadn't really developed anything. And as we've gone along, they've presented different ideas for necklaces to me and different ideas for bracelets, for earrings, all types of different things. So purses, we didn't have purses either.
Right.
We didn't have any of that. So actually we had somebody from Nairobi come to Kitale, which is 8 hours away, and teach the ladies how to make the purses. Like I've shared a couple of weeks ago, some of the purses that are on special, and we still have some on the website, and until they're gone. Once they're gone, but they're half price. And that was our first purse project that we did.
Mhm.
So I brought back a whole lot of these necklaces, these paper beads. And then I also brought some bracelets back, and we have the single strand now and the mini, but it was mostly the wrap bracelets like this. And there was multicolor, and then some solid colors, and then which I'm wearing a black one today. And this is like I call this a stress bracelet, because you can play with this.
Yeah.
You just do this kind of thing all day.
Yes.
Like, okay, all right, okay, all right. Okay, I'm sitting here playing with it. And then we also had the stretch bracelet. I think there's some in there.
All right, let's take a look. I don't see. Oh, yes. There it is. Right
The stretch bracelet. So we have the wrap like this and the stretch. So I brought they each had several of these, and I brought them back. Multicolor. There were a few solids, and the way that they make these, they'll use like this one, for instance. You might be able to see. You probably see better on the website, but they have some where they'll just use the paper itself, and then others where they'll roll the paper and then they'll paint it. So that's what they've done here. This one's all painted. The one I have on is painted as well. But then this one has some painted and some just the regular paper. You can actually see the writing.
The writing on the paper, huh?
Right
Right there.
there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. This is a sustainable item because it's recycled paper.
Yep.
So nothing goes to waste. And just like our bottle cap trivets, if you haven't seen
Those are cool.
go check them out on the
Very cool.
website. That we've used some of the things that we make, like when we make pillows or we make aprons or skirts or whatever we make, they save the scraps and make the bottle cap trivets, because you only need a small circle
Mhm.
of a piece of fabric. And so I actually have a video of how they were made. They have a little pattern, they draw the circle and cut it out, and then they put the bottle cap in there and they sew around it, and then they pull it, and it goes tight.
Nice, tight.
Yeah, so nothing goes to waste. So all of our products that we've made, they've had the leftover scraps, and that they use those. The same thing with the paper. Nothing's going to waste. Instead of it ending up in a landfill somewhere, it turns into beautiful jewelry.
Right.
And then every woman that I bought from that first time had these. These are the Dina necklace. These are all named after the different ladies.
The different
we work with.
ladies, right?
And these come in multiple colors. You can see them on the website, but this is a dainty little necklace. And they come in beautiful little colors. It's nice to just have a pop of color if you want it. This is also nice for a gift for younger girls as well, because it's not real heavy and it's dainty, but a lot of other people like it.
And then it has the little.
Yeah, it has the clasp. Sometimes you can see. No, this one doesn't. Some of them
They're long. They're long enough where you can just kind of put it
Yeah.
over your head as
But
well.
if not, they unscrew like this. But it's best to do it this way, I found, instead of attempting to do it from behind if you don't have anybody to help you.
I'm just
See,
gonna,
I didn't even have to see that. 'Cause if you try to do it this way, you'll be like fidgeting. But I've found that if you do it in the center like this and screw it and unscrew it, it makes it a lot easier. And you don't even have to look at it. It's just a matter of feeding it in there, and then just a couple turns.
there you go.
Yeah, so these are nice, and you can see all the colors that we have available on the website. basketsbeadskenya.com.
Baskets and
So I brought a lot of these back because there were some of the other necklaces we have, like the Dorcas and the Rael and the Layla and all those, some of the Akuleo and the Akumet, those all came after. There weren't any of these. They didn't come back with me the first time. I think maybe it was the second time that I brought back the Akuleo, the one that's like a choker. It's a shorter one.
You know, one of the things that I want to say, as you were sharing about what you originally came back with, though, and how much it's grown, what I think is beautiful is how the women are essentially, they're designers, because their creative wheels started spinning in regards to, like, well, what else can I present? What else can I create? What else can I make? And it seems to me that that's basically what's pretty much ongoing with them. You know, there's always, I think, this, how can they be innovative with the materials that they have in creating something new? I mean, obviously it's grown a lot, but it's grown because they've been willing to try new things and say, hey, you know what, like we're gonna whether it's with jewelry or now housewares or apparel and that kind of thing as well, that they're just willing to just expand and not just get stuck with, oh, well, this is just what I make. But they're expanding, you know, and learning more. And I think that's really, in addition to learning their craft, though, they're also learning management of finance and all of that as well, too, because that's something else I think that if you want to share about that a little bit, right? Because I know, like, when you take trips over there as well, that's something that you also impart into these women, is teaching them about their finance and their funds, right?
Yeah. I got a sneeze trying to come. Yeah, we do something called table banking because it's hard for them. They don't have IDs or birth certificates, so it's not like they can get a bank account real easy. So we do table banking where they have a board and they manage. So the ladies get paid for making product, and it's like, okay, here you have this much money, but put a little bit aside in the bank, so if you need some, you can come and pull it out, but you have to put it back. So it just teaches them that not to spend everything up front, and to manage their finances and to make sure that they're able to cover expenses like school fees and school uniforms and things like that. Although we do help, we fund 6 of the high school kids, because high school is where it gets really expensive. It'll be coming out in the newsletter about the kids are just, it's like we're going back to school here, but their kids are going back to school in Kenya for the 3rd term, and they have 3 terms in Kenya. It goes June to December, and they just had a little break, and they'll be going back for up until December, and then they'll have a long break in December into January, and then return, school starts over again. But one of our kids, Daisy, is graduating from high school. And that's a big deal, because I remember on one of our other segments you mentioned about that especially for girls, right, for females, that's like a big deal. Yeah, because most of the time the parents can't pay the school fees. It is about $1,000 a year, and I've explained before that the median income is around less than $300. You think about somebody who's in poverty, they don't probably get even that much. And you think about attempting to pay school fees for even one kid at $1,000 a year. And that covers the school fees, the supplies, the uniforms, and then every time they go back, they want more supplies. They always want reams of paper, the schools. I don't know what that deal is. And then you have to provide, they have basic food there, but you also have to provide things for them like bread and sugar and tea leaves and things like that. So you have to provide some of those things along with their basic care, because we have a couple kids that board, so they need things like the soap and toothpaste and toothbrush and whatever. And if they're doing sports or something, they may need some sports shoes and a sports uniform. And then the uniforms wear out, so they need something replaced. And it's quite costly, and we'd love to be able to sponsor more kids. If you're interested in doing that, basketsbeadskenya.org. .org. And any amount, you can just select the Educating Children Fund, and it'll go straight to those kids. to enable them to be able to stay in school. But Daisy, who's graduating in December,
That's so
so
awesome.
excited, she's interested in nursing.
Okay.
And Layla was telling me that the state-run school is not that expensive, so we should be able to help her
Nice.
be able to. She wants to be a nurse, so she'll be able to have an occupation and get in the medical field and be able to give back and help more people,
Awesome.
and have a skill that she can then earn income from.
Right.
Yeah,
That's beautiful. Such good stuff going on. And again, just the growth and the development of what's been happening with Baskets and Beads, it just keeps.
and then when you
Expansion.
so you want to connect the dots with Daisy. Daisy's mom is Rael. Rael is the one who makes the bottle cap trivets. She's the one that created that. And now there's another, I think it's Frida, that also makes those now. But so now there's that, she started that and that's one of the things she presented. Oh, here's this bottle cap trivet. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Yeah. And then we also gave her a microloan to do a little business where she's selling something in the market. So helping her have multiple streams of income. And the microloans, the microloans, they pay back. And what that does, it goes back into the NGO. The NGO is in Kenya. So we now have a fully registered NGO, a non-government organization. Basically, it's a nonprofit in Kenya. We have a bank account and we're giving microloans, and they have to pay it back. So then that goes back into the microloan account. And then what happens there is then we fund somebody else a microloan for another stream of income business. Yes. Like Faustine, we talked about Faustine, who if you've been following along for a long time, her house, we built her a house that got knocked down in the flood. Well, her parents died and her brother basically said, women don't own anything, kicked her out of the house, knocked the house down, took everything she had. So, and we actually sponsor her child, June, for high school. And she was so down. She had high blood pressure. She was stressed out. And we gave her a microloan for 2 businesses. One, to start chickens again, because she had full on chickens and eggs and everything. And then to sell vegetables. She'll buy vegetables and sell them in the area where she lives. And she's already up and running. She was up and running as soon as she got that microloan. She was like, oh, I'm out of here. I'm going to get this stuff going. So I don't know how many chickens she has now. I'll have to check with Layla. But I'm sure she's already got eggs and she's selling eggs, and then she'll pay that back. And then maybe another woman will need an opportunity to do a little business like that. And then there was one other lady, Millie, we got her set up with a boiled egg business. And from what I understand, she's doing well too. And it's great to be able to help those women get in business and then help them to make sure that they manage their money. There's a requirement. They all have to come to the meetings. The ladies are meeting regularly again, and they have to attend the meetings, and they have to be accountable to Dorcas. Dorcas, our manager in Kipsongo, make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing and not sloughing off somewhere. And she keeps people in line and keeps Layla informed, who keeps us informed here. So it's a great opportunity for
it's just a great system how everything is in place, and it's like a well-oiled machine, you know, everybody, and obviously it benefits. That's the beauty about it, you know, and how it's benefiting these women. And something else that I want to say, all of this because you decided to bring back some paper beaded necklaces. I mean, that's the item that you're talking about today. But to hear all these other things that are happening and coming, you know, that are happening, it's because you thought, I'm going to bring these paper beaded necklaces back. And at that time you were doing a book and a bead, right? You're doing a book and a bead. Like you had mentioned earlier that you are a public speaker. So you were going to be using your platform to be able to share this and help these women. And so the concept of a book and a bead is what started this whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, book and a bead. Now I'm selling more beads.
Yeah, right.
And,
oh my goodness.
And was one thing I want to say, when I say microloan, I mean about $200.
Okay.
It depends. It ebbs and flows depending on what business they want to get in. And
they buy all the supplies they need to actually do the business, and then they
go
get
for it.
right to work.
Yeah, right to work. And, of course, you've mentioned this again numerous times. It's not about what baskets and beads is all about. It's not about just handing people, like you would say, handing them a fish, but you're teaching them how to fish. It's a huge difference,
Right.
big difference, which I think is very important to mention and to talk about. You're teaching these women to get their wings again, or maybe they never had their wings to fly, right?
Right.
And you're giving them that so that they can rise and be able to take care of themselves, their children. You mentioned, I don't know which you said, I don't know if it was Dorcas, but someone, their kid is in school, right? Is the one with the bottle caps.
That's right.
Yeah, right. So her daughter's
her
pushing
daughter
to be a nurse.
Right.
That's Daisy.
Mhm.
You think about that, and maybe what was her story before, when she first met you? I mean, was her daughter in school? Was she not in school? What was her? Just to know that their stories they started with nothing. Most of these women, right? They started with nothing. They were just
right. Yeah, they had just, I think it was probably a trip or two before I came that somebody had given them a microloan to start making beads, but a lot of them were selling illegal alcohol or picking food scraps from a dumpster or prostituting themselves to get by. And it's real. And when I came, because what happens, a lot of people go on these trips and their heart gets opened, and they're like, oh, I want to do this and this. And sometimes they do it on a big scale. And then they come back and life happens here, which there's nothing, it's just life happens. And they get back into it. And it's like, oh, that's way far away. And it kind of fades from the memory. And that's happened to them a lot. And they were like, she's not coming back. So she bought a few beads. She's not coming back. And then I came back. Like, I went in February, and then I went again in June of 2018, and they were like, oh,
you're back.
And then I came again in 2019, and they were like, oh, she's here to stay.
Yeah.
So
they're like, you're a keeper.
Yeah. It had grown from, and if you haven't heard the story, I took back some beads and I sold out, and then I doubled that order and I sold out, and then I had tripled the order. I had a big suitcase that Layla's like, we got a big suitcase. And I was speaking, this is interesting how basically God's perfect plan works things out. There's nothing that happens by coincidence. I was speaking at a Toastmasters event in Napa area. It was a district conference, and I had been invited by the committee, and the guy I was talking to was all excited about me coming to speak. And I thought, oh gosh, I need these beads. I'm running out of beads. I didn't have a lot in the bank account. It was going to cost like $600 and something to ship
them
a suitcase.
Wow.
And I thought, that's going to wipe us out. And I said a little prayer, and I thought, there's got to be some other way. So I went to sleep, and I woke up the next morning and sat down at my desk, and it was like, it hit me. The guy who was coordinating the Toastmasters conference, his son was in Nairobi.
Connect the dots. Connect the dots.
And I was like, wait, when's he coming back? So I call him up. I'm like, when's he coming back? Oh, he's coming back. It was actually the day before the conference.
The day you needed him.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm happy to pay an excess baggage fee. Can I get him?
Which would have been more, less.
Yeah.
Than
like $200
yeah.
is excess baggage fee.
Yeah. In comparison to six or
something.
Whatever. Oh my goodness.
So we
wow.
we got in touch with him. He got in touch with him, and we had somebody go and take the bag to him. We covered the cost of her transport there and back, and she got the bag to him. He brought it back, and he was like, whatever. And so I got it.
Here's your bag.
I got it. I arrived, I think they had something that evening, and I was participated in that, but then the bag had come back. So he brought it to me. So I had all the new beads that I was able to take to the event. And that was the first time I really shared the story about, I had shared it a couple times, and had done pretty good with people buying beads, but I had worked it into my presentation, and I went and stood out by my table, and I usually sell out of my books at that, and I thought, okay, people will buy some books and some beads. They swarmed at the table.
Yeah.
I sold out of all my books, and I had to ship about double that, and books and beads and beads and books and beads.
They were just flying
Yeah,
off.
it was.
They're flying off the table.
So I was so grateful to have those back, because I was almost out what I had, and it's grown exponentially from there. And then, of course, COVID happened, and all of our wholesale customers except one went out of business, and of course, no in-person speaking. And so we're working on building all that back up again. But I look around here, you all can't see, but I'm looking around here, and this is a showroom full of product that and we're working with a soapstone group. I haven't been able to order from them lately, but then we have more product waiting in Kenya to come back. With our new dresses and some more of the small purses and some other things.
We got Teresa right now. I don't mean to stop you for a second. Teresa, give me 1 second. So Aldana, hi. A customer is asking how much your small Kenya oil painting is at Fairtrade Long Beach. You have a small oil painting, right, at Fairtrade Long Beach?
Mm-hmm. The one that it should have a price on it. I'll have to. Is it
Teresa? Right, it's Teresa.
Is it the one that's against the wall, like that's on the wall? Remember the ones we put on the wall?
Yeah. Which one is it? Are you referring to, Teresa? Put it in the thread right now when you get a second. Let us know specifically which one you're talking about, and then that way Aldana can get a price to you. We're live right now, as you can tell, and we got questions coming to us from the Instagram feed over here. So we want to make sure we're also paying attention to this and sharing with you guys at the same time as well. And if you're just joining us right now at the moment, we were just discussing with Aldana about the beginnings of Baskets and Beads, and that very first product that she started off with for Baskets and Beads of Kenya, which is the paper beaded necklace. And at that time, it was a book and a bead, right. is what she was going with. And from there, it has grown tremendously.
Well, and speaking of Fairtrade Long Beach, did you say
long and narrow? She said long and narrow. Yeah, long and narrow.
Okay. I'll get that to you. I thought we put a price on that.
I haven't been there in a quick minute.
Yeah,
so give us 1 second, Teresa.
Yeah.
She's gonna.
Speaking
respond.
of Fairtrade Long Beach, because Teresa's talking about Fairtrade Long Beach, is I want to say it's 55. I think it's 55.
Okay.
I think, if I remember right. Fairtrade Long Beach, I became one of the founding members there. Teresa is, I call her Sync Fairtrade Long Beach. Sync in the military means commander in chief. So she's Sync Fairtrade Long Beach. And I really that's something in 2018. I knew of Fairtrade, but I had not really that much of a clue. And I had to learn about that.
Awesome, Teresa. She said that sounds good.
Okay. And I had to learn about that, about fair trade and being a fair trade business and what that meant. And I've learned about the Fair Trade Federation and everything fair trade that I didn't know about. And Teresa's very knowledgeable about fair trade. She's been involved in it in a lot of years. And she was wanting to start a fair trade store. And I had met her late 2018 and used to do the Harbor City Hospital there, the little pop-up event. And I remember I was in Kenya. She's like, oh, I'm like, I want a space in that store. So I've been part of it since it opened, and we've been going for 4 years. World Fair Trade Day, May is our anniversary every year. So I've been excited to be part of that. So if you're local to Long Beach and want to see the products, you can stop by Fair Trade Long Beach and check that out.
Great space to go to, by the way, as well. So you definitely, it's a treat. I would highly suggest and recommend you pay a visit to Teresa and all the other wonderful vendors, because it's a store full of other wonderful vendors that are there as well.
Yeah.
So it's like a little museum you get to walk through and support all these great causes as well.
There's global and local fair trade.
Yes.
So there's a couple of body care products there that I only shop there for my body care products. Soap Co. She's local to Long Beach. She makes these wonderful body scrubs. And then there's some other products that have just come in that are my favorite as well. Actually, we're going to have her on the show. I have to send her a link to get her
Nice.
on the show and talk about those products. And so all the time when I'm doing gifts for somebody that I haven't, if I don't want to give, I'll give something from
Fair
Baskets
Trade.
and Beads Kenya, but then I'll also, like for my daughter, I get a bag and I go around and I get different things for her that she might need or like.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
great place to do Christmas shopping. Speaking of which,
Yes, Christmas shopping
yes.
too.
Oh well, let me show the baskets too.
Sure.
Because I did bring back these some of these
Seed bead.
baskets along with the beads. I brought the seed bead baskets, and I only had these two. I didn't have the jar shaped ones. then.
Okay, gotcha.
But these little baskets, these take about a day and a half to make. These about a day and a half to 2 days, and I brought several of these back along with the beads. And I had to learn because this has a really nice little. Oh, it still has a thing on it. It has a really nice little embellishment on top, and I had to learn how to. We're sitting there thinking, how are you going to pack these so they don't get damaged? And it took a minute, but it's an easy fix. You just put it like that. And
Turn the lid upside down.
I thought it took me a minute to think about that, but that's how we keep them from getting damaged.
Smashed or anything.
But
Yeah.
this is all hand done with wire beads and pliers. There's no forms that they use for this. And to look at this is just a perfectly shaped.
The wave
bowl.
around,
Yeah.
is just incredible. Yeah.
So I brought those back too, and those and the little necklaces and the paper beads were pretty much the start of the products.
Of Baskets and Beads
Yeah.
of Kenya.
And then when they sold out, I ordered more, and then like we were talking about, the ladies started to come up with ideas and developing things, and then we started making all types of other things. Like here's some fabrics from dog bandanas and pillows. We have pillows. I was so excited to get more of that fabric.
That was
Those
beautiful.
are coming. But I'm just looking around and seeing all the different products that we have
It's beautiful.
that have developed and expanded. So if you're in Santa Ana,
Mhm.
like I said, we're going to start having events here, but if you want to do a special come and shop, you can schedule an appointment and we'll bring you on over here and sit back, have a water or a tea, and you can walk around and look and chat and have a good time. Bring your friends. Oh, and also forgot about the trunk show.
Yes, I was hoping you were going to mention it because it was in my mind. I'm like, if she doesn't say it, I'm just going to say it. So,
Yes.
Yes.
The trunk shows. So this is another reason we're not doing a lot of pop-ups, because I want to leave time to schedule these. If you are local and would like to bring me in for a trunk show,
Yes.
where you would be hosting the trunk show, you'll get some discounts off of your order. You'll be able to order stuff and get a discount and a hostess gift and those type of things. And bring your friends together, and I'll come and set up, and we'll share the story of Baskets and Beads, answer questions. It'll be a really nice, intimate time with you and your friends.
a soiree. And here's and just so you know, we're getting ready to launch a new campaign on that. So Aldana's going to be posting some new stuff regarding that, a little bit more of the specifics regarding the trunk show. But I think this is a fantastic idea, especially for the holiday season. A lot of you ladies that I know that love to host, you have a beautiful little home setting. You could invite some of your girlfriends over, and have the Baskets and Beads shop, so to speak, come to your home, setting it up in your living room area or your family room or whatever, and then bring your girlfriends over to do some shopping just in time for the holiday season. And I always say this, especially whether it's for a birthday party and for the holiday season, these types of gifts really go the extra mile, meaning they're very personable. They're handcrafted, they're handmade. It's not something that's mass production by a machine. These are real people behind this. If you want to give a gift that has more meaning to it, I always say to buy handcrafted, handmade goods, and especially fair trade as well, because with fair trade, there's more attached to that, of course, and it's for a great cause. You're helping people that are in, pretty extreme circumstances.
Yeah, and the thing about it is it's a handmade product. It's
Yes.
something that was made by somebody's hands. And sometimes people ask me, oh, so then this goes back to them. We don't do a give back model.
Right.
A give back model doesn't work because, okay, if I had a basket that I bought in 2018, I still have it, that lady's going to wait to get
Right.
paid. So
No.
we buy everything up front. They've already realized the benefit of this. What we do is we put it back in to reinvest and buy more.
Yeah.
So it gives them us the opportunity to order more for them. So.
And of course, again, as you continue to buy, you spread the word, you share Baskets and Beads of Kenya with others, and you let others know about the website or the space here or Fair Trade Long Beach where people can come and shop. What it does for us is once we start seeing things are thinning out and the shelves are starting to kind of, we know to place another order. That's what we want to do. We want to be able to continue to place orders with these women so that we can pay them for their services. And then of course you keep, I mean, it's just this constant, you keep buying, we keep ordering, we keep bringing more. And we want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And we do have more coming anyways, as it is
Right.
too. We
Yeah.
do have more.
There's more coming that.
And then we have, because of the holiday season, we have another photo shoot that's getting ready to happen. And that is for the holiday goods. We're going to be, I'm getting some beautiful shots of some of the holiday items. And I see some that are actually on the couch right now, but get ready for that as well. And I know Aldana, once we get the photo shoot done and out of the way, Aldana will have that to start posting so you guys can start seeing some of the stuff for the holiday season. Again, these are great gifts. They're beautiful gifts and they're very meaningful. And so be on the lookout for that as well as the information and the posts for the trunk shows. So much fun.
Yeah,
So,
it's going to be good.
make it happen. We want to come to you. We want to come to your home or your space, whatever, and bring the trunk show to you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Anything
Awesome.
else?
No, I think that's about it. Make sure it's the .org is going, right?
Yeah, it's on there.
basketsofbeadskenya.org. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see.
I'll be your eyes for you.
Yeah, basketsofbeadskenya.org if you'd like to make a donation, and basketsofbeadskenya.com to get on the email list and to see the products. We're constantly updating the website. Vanessa does amazing photo shoots as she shoots the photos. I'm updating the website with the new photos so you can get a better look at what the products look like. Because when I started, I did this photo shoot during COVID in my backyard and was taking pictures on plants and stuff. I didn't have any.
Hey, you did well. Don't worry.
Yeah. But now we're doing some other things to make it kind of more visible. And remember, there's some sale items. The tunics are on sale.
Mm-hmm.
The large purses are on sale. You can still get those at a good price. So go check out basketsofbeadskenya.com and check those out. And you can send me a PM or email me at aldana@basketsandbeadskenya.com to discuss the trunk show.
Yes.
And any other things. Definitely would love volunteers. If you want to volunteer during the pop-up season, that would definitely be helpful because my back can't take it.
And those would be fun. You're going to be around a lot of really cool people. It just ends up being a fun day. You know what I mean? So definitely look up Aldana for that as well. If you want to donate some of your time for some of these events coming up during the holiday season, that'd be really nice.
Awesome. Well, until I guess I'm going to be coming on for Swahili Sunday on Sunday. So I will see you then. Not sure. I think I'm talking about what I had planned to talk about last Sunday, but ended up doing a impromptu Swahili Sunday from the event.
Yeah.
Which was nice. It was a great event, but then it got too hot.
She overheated
I'm
a
a
little
wimp.
bit, guys.
I guess it's like heat for wimps. That's me. I don't know.
It's the fair skin. That's
Yes,
what it is.
that-
My mom's fair skin, guys. So trust me, I know my mom. She doesn't tan. She turns to a lobster.
Right.
So-
And, I think some of it is you can't help it. I'm getting
Yeah.
older, so I can't take it as much as I used to. So, I mean, I deployed to the Middle East in 120 something degree heat, but I was in my 30s. So I was a little bit, able to handle it a
yeah,
little more.
those days are over with,
Yeah.
right? No more.
So I got to take a little better care of myself.
There you go.
All right, everybody.
Alrighty.
We will see you soon. Until next time,
What do we say?
Nakupenda.
Nakupenda.